guys, welcome back to Your Mindset, Your Power. I want to talk about something today that I think happens more often than we realize, especially when fear shows up. Because there was a time in my life where I truly believed that avoiding things was helping me. I thought I was protecting myself, keeping myself calm, staying in control. But I was wrong. And what I didn't realize at the time was that little by little, my world was getting smaller. And not overnight. That's the tricky part. It happens slowly, quietly, in ways that feel almost reasonable in the moment. And that's what I want to talk about today. Not just fear itself, but how avoidance can slowly start shaping your life without you even realizing it. And how sometimes the things we do to protect ourselves are actually the very things keeping us trapped. There was a period in my life where I started to feel more and more uncomfortable in certain situations, like crowded places, elevators, long lines, spaces where I felt like I couldn't easily step away. And the thing is, I wasn't always like that, my friend. No. Yeah, I had a little discomfort here and there, but nothing that controlled me, nothing that stopped me from living my life. But over time, something shifted. I started avoiding small things, like not getting into an elevator if it felt too full. And it didn't feel like a big deal at a time. It actually felt like I was making a smart decision, like I was taking care of myself. But what I didn't see was how that small decision started to expand into other areas. It slowly turned into avoiding more situations, and then even feeling anxious before I was in those situations. Until one moment that I will never forget. We were in New York with family and close friends, and one of the plans was going to an MLS game, a soccer game. So to avoid traffic, we decided to take the subway. I was walking with my husband and my son, and everything felt fine, normal. But then the train doors opened. I saw how packed it was, people standing very close together, no space. Our friends stepped in first, and in that moment, my friend, my body just reacted. My heart started racing. I grabbed my husband's hand and I froze. I couldn't move forward. And I started crying right there in front of them, feeling completely out of control. Then the doors closed. They left and we stayed behind. We ended up meeting them at the stadium later, but we had to take an Uber instead. But let me tell you, my friend, that moment stayed with me. Not just because of what happened, but because of what I felt after. I felt scared of my own reaction. I felt like I wasn't in control of myself. And from that point on, I started avoiding even more. And without realizing it, my life started shrinking. And let me tell you, my friend, maybe for you, it doesn't look like crowded places or elevators. Maybe for you, it looks like saying no to social events because it feels easier to stay home. Or maybe not speaking up in a room because you're afraid of what people might think. Or avoiding taking a risk, starting something new, going after something you actually want because the fear of failing feels too big. And again, it doesn't feel like a big decision in the moment, right? It feels reasonable. It feels like you're protecting yourself. But let me tell you, little by little, it starts shaping your life. And here's the part that took me time to understand. That moment wasn't the real problem. No, the real problem was what I started doing after that. So what did I do? I started organizing my life around avoiding anything that might make me feel that way again. And it made sense, right? Because when you avoid something that make you feel scared or uncomfortable, you feel immediate relief, right? But listen, what I didn't understand back then is something so important. Avoidance doesn't protect you. It trains your brain to believe that you should avoid being afraid. And the more you avoid being afraid, the more your world shrinks. And this is where I want to bring in a perspective that changed everything for me. Maybe you have heard about it many times. You don't control what happens to you, but you do control how you respond to it. And let me tell you, when I really understood this, I had to be honest with myself because I wasn't responding anymore. I was reacting and then avoiding. And there is another piece to this. We often think that if we just do less, step back, avoid, give it time, we will feel better. But sometimes, actually many times, doing less is not peace and is not the solution, my friend. Sometimes it's simply fear in disguise. At some point, I had to face a hard truth. What I was doing wasn't helping me. It was slowly taking pieces of my life away. And I remember thinking, this is not who I want to be. I don't want to live a life where fear gets to decide where I go, what I do, how I show up. So I knew something had to change. I became aware. And that awareness changed everything for me because I realized something I had not understood before. I was waiting to feel ready. I was waiting for the fear to go away before I did anything about it. And that moment, my friend, might never come. So instead of waiting, I stopped waiting to feel ready. And I started showing up scared. Fear doesn't go away because the only way this was going to change was not by avoiding the fear, but by moving with the fear. Getting into the elevator, even when my heart was racing. Standing in a crowded line, even when I could feel the anxiety building. Putting myself in those situations, not because it felt good, but because I wasn't willing to let my world get smaller anymore. Was it easy? No, my friend, it was not easy. There were moments where I wanted to walk away, run, but I stayed. And little by little, something started to shift. Not overnight, but gradually. I started feeling a little more comfortable, a little more in control, a little more free. So, my friend, if you're listening to this right now and you feel overwhelmed, or like you've been avoiding or holding yourself back, or like fear has been quietly running the show, I want to give you a few simple things to take with you. Not to fix everything overnight, but to start shifting your relationship with fear. So let's go. Number 1, separate what's happening from what you're telling yourself about it. This is huge because sometimes the event is one thing, but the story we create in our mind around it makes it feel 10 times bigger, right? Like assuming you will embarrass yourself speaking in front of people before you have even given yourself the chance to try. Let's go to number 2. Focus on what you can control, even if it's small. You may not control the situation, but you always have control over your next step. Maybe you can't control if something works out, but you can control giving yourself the chance to try. Number 3, stop waiting to feel ready. Courage doesn't come before action. It comes from action. If you think about it, most of the things we are most proud of, we didn't feel ready for when we started them. No, we went for them scared. And that's exactly what made them so meaningful, right? Let's go to number 4. Take one small step toward what you have been avoiding. Not everything, just one thing. That's how you start breaking the pattern. It might be as simple as walking into the place you have been avoiding, staying 5 extra minutes, or maybe finally making that call that you've been waiting for. So, if there's one thing I want you to take from this conversation, my friend, it's this. Avoiding fear might feel like relief in the moment. Yep. But in the long run, it only gives fear more power. And the way forward is not doing less. It's doing small, intentional things, even when you're scared. Taking action even when you're afraid. You don't have to be fearless. You just have to be honest. Honest about where fear has been quietly making your decisions. And honest about what it's been costing you. Because the truth is, it's not the big moments that change your life. No, it's the small ones that you keep avoiding. The conversation you don't have, the place you don't go, the step you keep putting off. And listen, I know how real that fear can feel. I've been there. But I also know this. The moment you stop letting fear decide for you, even in the smallest way, something shifts. You start taking your power back. Not all at once, but one decision at a time. So if something came to your mind while you were listening today, something you have been avoiding, don't try to fix everything. Just take one step forward. Even if it's uncomfortable. Even if you don't feel ready. Because your life doesn't expand when fear goes away. It expands when you stop waiting and start showing up consistently. And that, my friend, is where your power begins. And if this is one of those conversations that stay with you or make you think of someone, share with them. Because sometimes hearing this at the right moment can make all the difference in the world. And remember, your mindset is not just what you think. It's where your power begins. I hope you have an amazing week, my friend. I love you guys.